Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Piqi Mickey with Footshop, and today we're going to be breaking down our top 10 sneaker commercials, and we're going to be including also some music videos and other types of promotional materials, whether intentional or accidental, for sneakers. And make sure you guys stay tuned, because in the next video we're going to be breaking down our top 10 basketball sneaker commercials. Here we're going to focus on sneakers in general. Let's begin with our first one. We're gonna start from the year 1984, and of course, if you're looking for a hip-hop commercial on 80 steroids, look to none other than this commercial from Pony for its winning shoes. Starring in this commercial is a really dope dance crew. It's a b-boy crew called the Dynamic Breakers, and I guess they were pretty famous back in the days. They were even so successful that they created 2 or 3 hip-hop songs, and one of the songs is featured in the commercial. The lyrics are kind of cheesy. It's basically about like, hey, if you wear these Pony sneakers, you're gonna be able to jump pretty high, you're gonna dunk on people, and you're gonna win the basketball game, so you must go out and buy our sneakers, children. Yeah, you get the drift. And to top it off, at the end of the advertisement, basketball superstar at the time, Derek Chocolate Thunder Dawkins, slam dunks the basketball wearing a pair of ponies, because ponies help you win the game. That's right. Next up on our list is in 1985, coming from the legendary hip-hop group Run DMC. And of course, we know Run DMC is famous for making Adidas super lit back in the days when your parents were young, before they had you, before they met maybe. You probably heard the song before. It goes, my Adidas, something, something, something. I don't know the lyrics. All I know is that when you listen to the song, you definitely want to cop a pair of Adidas. And of course, if you want to wear Adidas correctly, like Run DMC did, you have to wear the Adidas shell toes without the shoestring. So you got to make sure you buy them a little tight so they don't fall off your feet when you're b-boying and breakdancing and doing all types of spins on your head and shit. Now in the song, well actually the song comes from their 3rd studio album, Raising Hell. And in the track, Run DMC is basically explaining their love for Adidas, how they wear them, how they rock them, which jeans they wear, when they wear them, etc., etc., etc. And the story goes that Run DMC was on tour traveling around the country and realized that after the song, they saw everybody wearing Adidas in Detroit, Chicago, LA, New York, etc., etc. So they sent Adidas a video. They sent it to Germany, I guess. And in the video, they're explaining, you know, what they did, how they promoted the sneaker. And then at the end of the vid, they're like, yo, Adidas, so send us a check for $1 million. And Adidas, being the nice guys that they are, cut them the check, and the rest is history. Next up on our list in 1989 is the Reebok Pump Bungee Jump commercial. That's a tongue twister. Reebok Pump, boom, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, anyway, if you guys know, the Reebok Pump technology was introduced around that time, and basically it has a pump on the tongue of the sneaker, and you squeeze that little thing a little bit and it just tightens around your ankle area and allows you to do all sorts of crazy stuff with those sneakers on, and they never slip off. I mean, never. You can just go to bed with those sneakers on and do all sorts of freaky things and they'll just stay on. Anyhow, this is a bit morbid commercial, because in the commercial, 2 young guys are at the top of a bridge, I guess, and they are hoisted to a bungee. And one of the guys is wearing some Nikes, one of the guys is wearing some Reeboks. They go for the jump, and of course, the guy wearing the Nikes ends up falling from the rope, and the guy wearing the Reeboks is still hanging. And all that's left of the other guy is his shitty Nikes, which didn't stick to his ankles. And of course, the ad is telling you, yeah, if you wear Reeboks, you're not gonna, you know, ever fall out of those sneakers because they're so tight with the pump technology. Nike was not so pleased with the ad, and the ad was banned because it didn't show Nike in a good light. And I understand that it's a bit kind of morbid and dark to have someone die in the commercial because they didn't wear the right type of sneaker. So, but it's kind of funny at the same time. If you're into dark humor, at least now we can check it out on YouTube and know how not to advertise things. Number 4 on our list is the LA Gear Light-Ups commercial in 1992. Now, if you're as old as I am, you remember back in the days when we were like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and every kid had a pair of LA Gears, and you just saw kids lighting up and blinking everywhere in the dark all the time. They were super popular in those times, and they even had a resurgence in the 2010s, I guess. I think they signed a deal with Tyga at some point, and I think there was also some use of them in some music videos and some fashion shoots and stuff like this. Didn't really ever become much popular again, but during that time they were extremely popular for kids. And in this commercial, there's 3 kids, 2 guys, 1 girl, I guess, and they're sitting, they're in the desert. It's super hot, and one of the kids takes a slingshot, points it at the sun, knocks the sun out, and you know, he's got his LA gear so he can still survive in the nighttime and see where he's going. I think they're pretty cool, but not something I would wear now. Probably wouldn't get any dates wearing those sneakers. Number 5 on our list are the S Carters in the G Units from Reebok in 2003. This is a pretty dope commercial because it features some of my favorite rappers as a child. 50 Cent, Jay-Z is rapping in the commercial, and also we got producer Just Blaze, who at the time was making beats for like everyone. And yeah, this is a really cool collab with the 2 rappers and Reebok, and they were extremely popular. And in this commercial is basically them rapping in the studio, you know, about their lifestyle, and of course shouting out Reebok and the sneakers that they made with Reebok. Next up on our list is in 2010 for Nike, The Secret Behind the Air. This is probably my favorite commercial from the list because it's extremely clever. I think everybody at one point or another has wondered why Nike Air? Why does Nike use the word air? And of course, this commercial exploits that in trying to say, where does the air come from? It's really crazy because basically in the commercial, they're like, yeah, the air comes from the air of some of the most successful and most profound athletes of all time. The commercial stars comedian David Koechner, and he's basically at the Nike lab telling the secrets and going, and what you see some of the athletes doing their thing with gas masks pumping the air, and then the air goes straight into the sneakers. It's really crazy. I'm sure obviously it's not like that, but who knows? You know, who knows? It could actually be like that, you know. The funniest part of the video, in my opinion, is with Maria Sharapova, who is a tennis player, of course. And you know, tennis players always make those loud, sexy sounds when they hit the tennis racket. And basically, David's like, you know, we had to get this sound out of the sneaker. And he hits one sneaker and you can hear her grunt from that sneaker, and they finally figured out how to get it out of her air, which is really clever from Nike. The ad became quite viral, of course, and it featured other amazing athletes. You definitely got to check out this whole ad, super funny. Next up on the list is the Adidas original Cantina commercial in 2010. This is also one of my favorites because it takes Star Wars, it takes the original Star Wars Cantina scene and blends the original footage with brand new footage featuring a lot of superstars and athletes, and it makes it look as if the 2 footages are seamlessly intertwined, as if it's like the actual movie. So it's really cool. I don't know how they do that, some green screen or whatever, but super dope. The ad was created not only for this Adidas Originals collection, but it was also promo for the FIFA World Cup of 2010. The ad opens up with Daft Punk and even features Snoop Dogg getting into an altercation with some alien dude. It also features original characters such as Han Solo, Obi-Wan, R2-D2, and so on. There's also some really hidden things. There's one scene where David Beckham is sitting in the bar, and behind him is a poster that says the 9th Czechoslovakian Cup. We don't know why it's there, but you know, Footshop is based in Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, so you know, gotta shout that out. Definitely check that one out. It's a super cool commercial. My favorite part is, of course, when Snoop Dogg just like slices some dude up. It's super dope. Next up, we're gonna get a little bit more serious in 2011 with Macklemore and Ryan Lewis. Macklemore and Ryan Lewis made a song called Wings, which is kind of a critique not kind of, but is a critique of sneaker culture and just consumerism and consumption, and how that affects children and how it may sometimes lead to violence. And he also talks about his obsession with sneakers, you know, the smell of them, how they make him feel, how he didn't feel so important, but when he put that sneaker on, he felt like his favorite basketball player. He felt like he could dunk. And I think it's a really touching song. The song is serious, but at the same time, it's also, for sneaker fanatics, it's very fun to watch because because that video features a lot of classic silhouettes and even some rare gems that you can't really find. It also pays homage to the original Spike Lee commercials with Jordan, and it takes some of those scenes and recreates those scenes. In one of the lyrics, Macklemore talks about how one of his friends was shot for wearing a pair of Air Jordan 4s. So it gets pretty serious, but at the same time, we see some really dope sneakers, and it kind of acts like an advertisement for Nike at the same time. Next, we go to 2014 with an ad starring Derek Jeter called Respect. It's an advertisement for the Jordan brand, and Derek Jeter is interestingly one of the only baseball players to have a cooperation with the Jordan brand. This advertisement pays tribute to Derek Jeter. He's a baseball legend and a New York legend, New York Yankees legend, of course. And the ad features so many superstars and politicians who are paying respect to Derek by doing this kind of ritual that he does before he hits. I guess he tilts his hat. And so it even shows baseball players from other rival teams such as Boston, Red Sox, and I think there's a few other teams in the video. The ad features Michael Jordan, Rudy Giuliani, Spike Lee, Phil Jackson, and many other celebrities, athletes, politicians, all who pay respect to Derek Jeter. He's really important to New York and just to baseball in general. And of course, at the end, Michael Jordan himself does the hat tilt, and yeah, it's a pretty cool commercial. It's very touching again, a bit dramatic, but yeah, you see a lot of Yankees hats there. It's a very New York commercial. You know, I think New Yorkers are gonna love that. New Yorkers are like obsessed with Jeter, especially back in those days. And to finish our list, we jump to 2016 with the story of Vance. And this is a really cool animated commercial which pretty much goes through the whole history of Vans and explains it in a really interesting way about how it started and went from the beginnings of street skate culture and how it went to something mainstream and still kept its relevance within the culture. Video is basically a time lapse from the beginning to the end, so if you want a quick Vans history lesson, you can watch that ad and you get the whole history in a matter of, I don't know, less than a minute. Definitely check it out. The history is really interesting and how the brand went from making the sneakers specifically designed to make skating more comfortable and better for the skaters, and then how it just grew and grew and grew each year and each decade into something that's worldwide. And I think it happened during their 50th anniversary or something around that time. So it's really cool. And I want to thank you guys and girls for checking out this video. We hope you learned a bit more. Definitely check out all those campaigns, ads, or songs, whatever we talked about. And make sure you stay tuned, because next we're going to be talking about the top 10 basketball sneaker commercials of all time. So I'm Piqi Mickey, this is Footshop. Hit that subscribe, like button, and we'll see you next time.